There we go. There we go.
Everything's okay now?
Yep. We have game audio, we have visual, all is good.
Okay, nice. Let's hope it stays that way.
Fourth time's the charm.
Good.
Alright, so when you're ready to start, you can just count me in 3, 2, 1, go, and I can start the timer.
Okay. So, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so
Take it away, dude.
Oh, thanks. So, hi everyone. RCHelicoptr. This is Mibili's quest. Any percent Mibili. Mibili is the hardest difficulty in the game. So, it's also really the only difficulty that people care about in this speedrun. Yeah, it's a freeware 2D platformer made by a guy called Ryan Melmoth in 2014. And speedrun of it starts off pretty simple. Mibili doesn't have a whole lot of different things you can do, just walk and jump and shoot things, but as we get further along in the run, we get some pretty nice movement upgrades, which speeds up the run quite a bit. Yeah, at the beginning of the run it's still kinda slow. It's a pretty straightforward run throughout. There aren't really all that physics of Mibili aren't too special. Just you can either stand still or walk, and that's all the speeds you're gonna get from this guy. But the upgrades later on will make the run quite a bit more interesting. Okay, so right here it's going to look a little strange here. I'm going to just fade out into the overworld right here, and that's because there's supposed to be a boss fight here, but I use a thing called speedrun mode, and speedrun mode is a feature in the game that causes the timer in the bottom right to appear, and it also skips all cutscenes and scripted events, and because the first boss is scripted, we get to skip it, which is quite nice because it lets us go to the more interesting parts of the run a little bit faster. Oop. Yeah. So right here in the city, and it's a pretty boring level, to be honest. In the speedrun, there's a lot of waiting around. There are like 3 or 4 stages in the run that aren't really all that interesting in terms of what you have to do, but they're pretty spread out and they don't take that long. So it's mostly going fast, but here it's just waiting. So when we come up on the first actual boss of the run, Moving Factory, the bosses in this game have also get to have invincibility frames. So especially for the earlier bosses, it's pretty important to like actually try to hit them when their invincibility has run out, instead of just straight up mashing. Because if you miss 3 shots, you have to wait for the bullets to despawn before you can shoot again. Yeah, that boss, how long it stays invincible in the air and how long it walks around is random. And if he wants you to have a good fight, then he'll walk around for a little bit longer and you can actually get a 2 cycle, but I got the 3 cycle instead, unfortunately. So that cost like 4 seconds or something. But not too big a deal, luckily. So, I guess I could talk a bit about the structure of this game. The game is divided into 3 different overworlds, and we're in World 1 now. And for World 1 we only have to clear 3 out of 4 stages. So we'll be doing city, cave, and then the question marks in bottom left. We skip rave because it's a little slower than cave, and it's also a lot more RNG independent than the other stages. Like we used to do rave back in the day, but when we finally started optimizing the all of the screens properly, it just happened that cave turned out to be faster. Which is quite unfortunate because rave is a pretty fun stage. As long as the RNG is nice to you at least. So this boss right here, the little circles that crawl along the floor and the walls, when you touch them you turn into stone, and you have to wait for the rock to come crush you, and that's it can take quite a bit of time before that happens, so it's quite a scary fight. Messed up a bit with the jumping there, which is unfortunate, but still turned out fine. But yeah, if you don't work with the boss properly and get them to slam down at the right times, the circles that crawl on the floor can really mess you up, but as long as you're clean, it's not super challenging. Okay, so right here it's a pretty boring part of the run for a couple of minutes, unfortunately. Just a lot of holding right and not really doing a whole lot. Yeah, once we get to World 2, the levels become quite a bit faster. Not because they're shorter, but because the upgrades that you get will speed up things quite a bit. So I don't like Simon Says, so we're just gonna skip it. Was a bit close on the first one there, but alright. As long as I don't get like 5 rights at a time, the RNG doesn't really matter here, but I have gotten 5 rights before, so you never know. Yeah, that RNG was alright. The weight that falls from the ceiling actually deals like 90% of your health bar, so I was planning on getting the potion for full health before I as a save strat, but I forgot. So a good thing that I didn't screw up there. Otherwise it would have been even more time of not doing fun stuff. Alright, so right here in this little intermission stage, I guess, we're again going to be skipping a cutscene and a whole lot of other boring stuff, which is nice. So I guess I'll start explaining the structure of World 2. In World 2 you have to complete every stage, and at the end of every stage you get a different power-up. And the order of the stage is basically get the 2 good ones first, and the rest are just little details for 1 or 2 screens. So, another thing about World 2 is that there is an optional power-up somewhere in the overworld, and it's actually faster to go down to 0 lives in this stage here and do a death abuse when you're getting that extra power up. So I'll be damage boosting a lot throughout this stage. Alright, nice. What happened right there was I hit the laser at the exact same time as crossing the screen to the checkpoint. It saves a couple seconds. It looks really tight, but the setup is actually really easy. Alright. That's always a very fun jump to do, but it worked out fine, luckily. So the angle at which the popcorn, I guess, flies around here is random, so sometimes you can just wheel on the hearts pretty much constantly, but sometimes you really have to go slowly. Yeah, this is not a very fast fight. Normally when I'm doing PB attempts, I take damage from the ceiling the first time around with just about half your health, but if you get a game over, you have to do the entire stage over again, so I figured I'd play it safe for this. Not a bad fight though, considering the fact that I didn't go for the fast strat. Alright, so the power-up that we got from Nightmare is the Explode Dash. It's faster than walking and it's also invincible throughout, so we'll be Explode Dashing through a lot of spikes. And it also allows us to make jumps that are normally too long to get. So here's the game over. It only saves a couple of seconds combined, but it's still time safe, so why not? So the power up that we picked up there, the cross, it allows us to freely move vertically and horizontally, and it's also invincible. And there are quite a few screens like this where you just get to skip quite a slow section of the level. But you can only use it once per level, after that you have to pick it up again in the overworld. But now that I've unlocked it, it's right next to the potion, so it's nice and fast. So right here is Gas Mibili. It's a big piece of shit. The time it takes to fly around in the air, the time it takes to wait underground, how high it goes, it's all RNG with this guy, so right now it's not giving me a very good pattern at all. Yeah, normally I would have been done by now, but alright. Yeah, that when Gas Mibili wants you to lose 15 seconds, you'll just lose 15 seconds. Now it's more like 10 compared to pretty average. Like there are quite a few sections throughout the run with heavy RNG, but it usually cancels out quite nicely. Like I think you can lose about a minute or so in total with all the bad RNG, but usually you're just crap. You get average RNG. So the upgrade that I picked up from Gas Mibili is the Void Block, which insta-kills all enemies and does double damage to bosses. And it's pretty much the only other weapon that you're gonna see at this point, except for a few special cases. But the thing with the Void Block is that I picked up an upgraded version which gives you like about double the range of the void block if you're on full health. But if you're not on full health, you just go back to the normal range. So for a lot of the run, it's gonna be pretty important that I stay at full health, because the extra range does help a lot for quite a few screens and quite a few boss fights. Yeah, the power up that we picked up there is it's a different weapon, and it isn't part of the normal attack. So if you want to, heck, hold up. Okay, this isn't going very well. What to do? What to do? I think I'll be okay. Well, usually don't take damage there, and we need some extra health for a damage boost at the end of the level. I think I'm still fine. So normally we'd use the cross on this screen, but I need the health pickups here, so... is that enough? I don't think so, actually. We'll see. The damage boost that we're gonna be doing is quite huge. Okay, never mind. I don't have enough health right now, so... I'll just damage boost at the checkpoint. Okay, so... sloppy eggs, but... that can happen. Okay, messed up again. Oops. It's fine, it's... sometimes the tests don't take too much time. Sometimes they do. Yeah, here's why I want to damage boost. The projectiles here insta-kill you, so you have to stay quite far away from the toxic can if you want to survive normally, so you can't use the void block regularly. But the projectiles don't spawn all the way to the right of the screen, so if you just damage boost like that, you can stand in that safe spot and just wail away at the boss. Yeah, that boss fight was quite something before I discovered that strat. Just noticed that I forgot to use the cross. Oops. Okay, so the power up that we got there is also an addition to the normal attack. It's the little fire shield that you see behind me, and it's also one that gets a lot better when you're at full health. But for this boss in particular, we don't want to be at full health, because the void block with the extra range is actually less effective for that. And it also costs a bit of time to pick up the potion in the overall to get full health. So... that stage runs quite a bit better than X. Okay, so let's see if this boss likes me. It's pretty alright so far. Yeah, that's very nice RNG. How often it teleports around is random, and you can't hit him during teleportation, so sometimes you just have to wait for 5 seconds before it shows back up. But that's pretty rare. Okay, so right here is another one of those really boring levels that I talked about earlier. It's a lot of auto-scrollers, which is quite unfortunate. can show off the new power-up that we got, the charge stream. It takes a long time to actually charge up, and it doesn't do double damage, so it's not very useful. Like, we used it for 2 screens in this stage, and that's it. So, one small thing about heck, okay, I missed my Explodish there, so that's a shame. It's very rare these days that I actually miss an Explodish input, but it can still happen sometimes, and usually when you do it when you're trying to go through spikes, so that's quite a painful time loss, unfortunately, but oh well. Yeah, what I was gonna say is that when the auto-scrollers... Are you kidding me? Okay, this stage is going very well, as you can tell. Yeah, one nice thing about the auto-scrollers in this game is that at the end of them it takes a while for these spikes on the right to appear, but when you explode through them, you already touch the loading screen, and that way you can go to the next stage, next screen before the invincibility of the Explodash runs out. So you can save off a little bit of time every time. Also, game is also lagging quite a bit right now, so that might cause some other Explodash inputs to drop, but hopefully that won't happen. So this screen is the one where I really don't want to die, so let's hope that this one does go well. Spike isn't really cooperating right now. The flying spike doesn't actually one-hit kill you, but normally when you're when you don't die, you're at a bit lower health than I am, so you can only take a hit of it once, but right now I can take 2 of them, I believe. Alright, so that's the part where you lose the most time by dying done. Of course I died twice, but oh well, what can you do? So right here, the camera enemies are supposed to take a picture of you and trap you in the picture, but if you Explodash into the flashlight, you interrupt your Explodash, and the game won't recognize that your Explodash ended, so it won't make you vulnerable again, so you're just invulnerable like that. Unfortunately, those enemies don't appear too often, so you can't really make use of it. So right there, the charge stream, the projectiles go at a low angle sometimes and allow you to destroy one of the boxes of TNT earlier. Yeah, that's about all you can use that power up for. Okay, so once again we're in Crow Castle, and this time my controls are inverted, and Mibili also walks backwards, so you can't really spam the void block everywhere because it goes behind you. But luckily the full health version of the fire shield does the job just fine for the most part. Like, there are some enemies in the game that for some reason won't they will still damage you if you kill them with the fire shield, but they aren't in this level as far as I know. Yeah, this stage becomes quite a bit more enjoyable when you don't have to wait for all those corners to end. Ah. It's a very strange timing to avoid that picture guy. Okay, so let's see if this backup still works fine. Yeah, it does. Okay, so right here we're going to be fighting Crocodile. This is the boss fight you're supposed to see right at the beginning, but again we got to skip it because of speedrun mode. Alright, that's unfortunate. Could have stayed a bit closer to it, but alright, there we go. That's fine. The Crocodile has 3 different attack patterns, and I got the fastest, but I was bad, so I still lost a bit of time anyway. Right, so hopefully this next stage goes a bit better, which I doubt, because it's probably the second hardest stage in the run. There are a lot of cycles that you can just barely get if you do some risky stuff. And you really want to be at full health for this boss, so it's gonna be quite important as well. Oh, that's a nice jump input right there. Just going to take the damage, death abuse here. Dying doesn't take a whole lot of time, so at least when you're at a checkpoint. What's happening? Right, I'm pretty sure that my game is lagging pretty bad right now, but nothing I can do, unfortunately. Aside from hope that it doesn't end up bodying me. Okay, so normally you'd have pretty much full health right there, and you can do a damage boost there, but the backup went just fine. Alright, so the boss coming up right here, it can do 2 different movement patterns from the start. When you're at full health, it doesn't matter which one you get, it's just that one is harder, but if you're at low health, you want the eye to go right. Alright, good. If the eye goes down, you have to do some really awkward jumping like this to hit it with the void block if you're at low health. Yeah, if you don't get hit up here, you can kill it just as fast with low health void block. Okay, so not the clean stage I hoped it would be, but let's hope I can manage with the input drops. Right, so right here is water. It's probably my favorite stage in the game. It's really fast if you know what you're doing and you know what to do with the upgrades. The water makes the already floaty jumping a lot more floatier, so you have a lot of control of where Mibili is going to be. Alright, so that stage went quite a bit better. Also another nice thing is that this boss doesn't have a whole lot of RNG to it. The only truly RNG free boss is the big slug. This one isn't too bad here. Alright, so really clean stage right there. So we've completed all the levels in World 2 and right now we get to fight an extra boss. And in the screen before the extra boss you can also pick up the cross, so it saves additional time to be at full health here. Because you don't have to go right at all if that happens. Okay, so we're fighting Crocodile again, but this time he, whenever he's at half health, he'll go to its health bar and refill it. But it only checks if it's at half health right after it does an attack. So what you can do is just get him down to half health before its first attack is finished, then just wait for the attack to end and skill it right after. After you get the really good attack that he gave me the second time, you can actually just kill Crocodile in one cycle, but it's fine if you don't get it. So right here in World 3 we just have to basically what the story is right now is that we travel to the future to 1 week before our arch nemesis Crocodile dies, and we want to see him dead, so we just have to wait through this whole week and stall for time, I guess. The levels right here are quite a bit different in structure compared to the levels before it. That also makes World 3 a lot of fun. Getting the first hit on the right speaker can be quite risky if you're inconsistent at the rhythm that you have to mash for void block, but right now it's going fine. Like if you miss a void block on the left one, it can it will go too high to get hit by a void block, so you have to change weapons and you don't want that. Yeah. So a good example of why the levels in this world are different. Oh, there we go, that's it. Ugh. Got the potion by accident, but it's fine. Okay, so what happened right there was I was too close to the spikes when doing the exploders, and from what I can tell, the exploders actually isn't invincible on its first frame. So basically you could hear the sound effect of the exploders, but it wasn't actually invincible, so got killed by the spikes anyway. So right here, the hitboxes on these enemies are can be quite wonky, so want to be pretty careful here. There we go. Okay, so that went fine. They also do a lot of damage, so you can't really afford to tank a hit there. Ugh, okay, so yeah, as you can see right there, the boss does an attack in the opposite direction of you, so you have to activate the void block behind you and then quickly turn around and do it again. Takes quite a while to get used to, but so here's my absolute favorite part of the run. It's a hollow scroller of like 2.5 minutes, so there's nothing you can do to speed it up except a little bit at the boss at the end, but for now it's just listen to the good music, I guess. So now that we have the level 3 power up of the ship, we can shoot a lot faster now. Whenever you die, you go back to level 1 power up, and that can actually become quite a problem if you're at the boss. Like, right before the boss there's a checkpoint, and the checkpoint is unique in that when you get a game over, you'll go back to that checkpoint instead of the beginning of the level. So usually what we do is if I'm an idiot and die to the boss, I usually just go all the way and take a game over and just restart the boss from the beginning, because it just makes that much of a difference. The unfortunate part is that for that reason, when you continue there, the music won't start playing again, so you have to endure the horrible sound of the boss getting hit for quite a while. So let's not be an idiot. Alright, I wasn't an idiot. If that looks easy, then that's because it is pretty easy, to be honest, but whenever I get to this point in the run, I used to get pretty nervous, so it's not too uncommon for me to fail this. Also, if the boss decides to move up and down really fast, the attack becomes quite a bit harder to dodge. And the way you speed this up is that for the spaceship there's still a limit of the amount of shots that you can have out at a time, so if you stand all the way back, you can't just hold down the shoot button and keep shooting properly. So you have to take it a little risky when you want to go fast, but it worked out fine. So for Tuesday we're going to be using the three weapons that we haven't seen yet. all for a really wonky setup for one of the screens a bit later. So now we have the time to charge up the crystals, which allows us to kill this thing earlier and use the fire shield for that room. But yeah, that's all you can really use those weapons for in speedrun setting. They're just that bad. Like, they're not that horrible per se, but the void bug is just that much better. And changing different weapons also takes quite a bit of time, so yeah, we don't want that. So this level here, Saturday, it's pretty boring level. It's just prancing through a field of flowers, basically. That's all there is to it. Just explode dashing and more explode dashing. Alright, so last level here, Sunday. It starts off with a boss, and this boss can be quite scary because it has 3 attack patterns, and it's random which one it chooses each time. And like, if you get hit early on, you have to get really close to it, and that usually results in getting hit quite a few times. But right now it's going alright in the health department. Well, not in the killing the boss department, that was a little slow. That's pretty much the last threatening part of the run. Right here you're supposed to use the slugs to reveal the path, but I already know the path, so I can just do this. Yeah, time is gone up in like not even a minute, more like half a minute.
Okay.
It's right when I collect the big one that's on the floor somewhere. So this screen is the last one. And time.
43:30.
Okay, that's it's quite sloppy, but it's about as much as you can expect from a no recent run for this game. You get really close to spikes all of the time with your exploder, so you're bound to die at least once or twice.